Group assessments have become a popular tool in all courses. Why is that? University prepares students for employment, and most jobs require you to work in teams or collaborate with colleagues. Group work at university helps students practice important team skills through a social learning experience. There is also a vast amount of research that proves learning is more effective when people work together, and a group produces a better final product than individual students alone. Each group member brings their own strengths and may better understand areas of the assessment. This is an opportunity to learn from one another and draw on individual strengths to create a better final result. You are expected to put effort into developing a strong group dynamic. There are steps you can take to help build a successful group. The first step is introductions. Spend a little time getting to know each other and be sure to exchange contact details that can be used while working on the project. Since you may not know the people you are partnered with, you may avoid sharing your mobile number, but there are many other options. Your group may set up an account in apps such as WhatsApp, Google Hangout, HipChat, or Flow. You may also consider using document sharing programs like Google Docs, OneDrive, or Office Online. If your group decides that none of these will work, then student email is always a safe alternative. The key is to agree on an option and all check in on a regular basis. When meeting in person, decide on neutral places without distraction. There are many options for meeting on UC campus. You might choose to meet at the UC Student Resource Center in Building 6, or book a group study room in the library or Building 1. Level B of the library is also a popular place for meeting up with your group and can be accessed 24 hours a day. All group members need to be included in meetings, but remember, all meetings do not have to be in person. If a group member cannot attend in person, they can still be involved through a voice call, FaceTime, Google Hangouts, or Skype. After introducing yourselves, it is important to establish clear roles within your group. Consider the needs of the group for what roles you may need. You may want a chairperson, a task manager, a timekeeper, or a secretary. A chairperson is in charge of making sure everything is covered during meetings and that everyone has a chance to speak. They need to be focused and organized, but also need to be comfortable in directing the group. A task manager's job starts when the meeting ends. They check in with team members between meetings to make sure everyone is meeting the agreed-upon deadlines and not having difficulties. This person should be diplomatic and well-organized to keep everyone else on track. The timekeeper is in charge of making sure everything in the meeting is covered in the allotted time. They need to be focused and willing to speak up. A secretary records everything covered during meetings and reports back to the group. This is very important in making sure everyone remembers what decisions were made. A secretary needs to be focused and able to sort out the most important points. All of these roles are important, but you may decide on other roles that seem important in completing your specific goals. Assign roles based on individual strengths or alternate roles so the work is more evenly distributed. The next step requires you to establish clear objectives. It is important at this stage that everyone is clear on the goals of the group. Make sure that everyone understands the assessment tasks in the same way. Be clear on the marks the team is aiming for. Just because you are trying for the distinction does not mean everyone else is. Decide what tasks each person will be responsible for considering individual strengths, special skills, and fairness. Decide on the dates and times you will meet as a group and agree on deadlines. The group should set mini deadlines and stay connected throughout the process. Meetings are very important, especially before submitting the assessment. If each person works in a bubble, it will look like individual projects stuck together. It is important you meet before the day the assessment is due so you can combine the individual parts. If your group assessment task is a written assignment, have each group member read over the whole assignment to check that there is a logical structure, that there is no repeated or missing information, and that there are no spelling or grammar errors. Document sharing programs can be helpful for this. If your assignment is a group oral presentation, rehearse the whole presentation as a group, checking the structure and content as well as time limits. The final step is managing accountability. This is where the secretary's notes become important as they record the roles and tasks that everyone agrees to. Remember that everything should be agreed on by all group members. Possibly the most important is to be prepared from the start and agree at the beginning what expectations you will have for each other as group members, and record those decisions for everyone to refer to later. Hopefully by following all of these steps, your group will run smoothly. However, there may still be issues that need to be handled. It is your responsibility to make an effort to resolve these before contacting your unit convener. There are things you can do first to be a good group member and avoid common issues. Be clear from the start on the expectations. Be honest and tell your group if you are struggling with your task. Be understanding of other people's situations and experiences. Things come up, and we all get sick or overwhelmed at times. Be helpful. Be willing to lend a hand if it is needed, and don't judge them for falling behind. And be encouraging. There are common issues that come up in groups, but there are also solutions that you can try. One individual may dominate group decisions and discussion. There are things that can be done without hurting anyone's feelings. Be respectful, but honest. Make it clear that you appreciate their input, but that it does not seem everyone is getting a chance to participate. Create time limits for each person to talk during meetings. Or, don't end a conversation until each group member has shared their thoughts on the topic. Some members may not want to contribute in meetings or be too shy to speak up. Ask the team member why they are not participating. Set a rule that everyone speaks before you can move on, or make it a point to include that person and ask their thoughts. You may have group conflicts or individual disagreements. There are some things to remember in solving these conflicts. Remember to separate the person from the issue and avoid personal attacks. Try using phrases that focus on the problem, not the person, and avoid words like you or they. Respect others' values and ideas. They may have a different viewpoint, but it does not make it any less valuable. The reason groups are so important is that they bring different people together with different strengths and ideas. Use those differences to create a better result rather than letting it become an issue. Negotiate. Instead of fighting, clarify what each person wants and try to find a middle ground. And be open to finding solutions. There is always a way to work things out as long as all parties are willing to find agreement. Possibly the most common issue is when members do not complete work on time or completely. This can be frustrating. If you set up deadlines that everyone agreed on, then those group members should communicate with the group that they are falling behind or having trouble. As a group, you may decide from the start to have progress reports where the group members check in regularly to let the group know what they have completed. If you have ongoing check-ins or meetings, hopefully this issue will be caught before it is too late. Remember to ask the group member what has caused them to fall behind. They may have a good reason and may just need a little help to get it done. If as a group you feel the member did not make an effort to complete their portion of the work, or you cannot come to a solution, it may be time to contact the unit convener. Do what you are able in solving your own group issues, but certainly do not be afraid to contact the unit convener when needed. It is important to work toward the same goal. Focus on the needs of the group first, and hopefully everything else will work out. If you would like assistance, Study Skills is here to help. Check out the Study Help site for great interactive modules and handouts. Come visit us in the study on Level B of the library for drop-in study help. Come as a group. You are always welcome. If you have further questions, you are also welcome to email or call for assistance.